Hello, this is Mr. Taylor with Young Engineers of Today for 5th and 6th grade. This is our last presentation on using SketchUp. All right. Where we left off last time was the fact that you had to build your pillar. Building this pillar, after you build a 3 by 3 by 1 square, you had to build the polygon. This is how you build your polygon. The key to this is as soon as you select the polygon tool, you actually type how many sides that you want, then click on the center of the lines that you created for guidelines, and then type your radius. Okay. Now, then you put 12 1-inch circles centered around the corners of each of that polygon, and then click on the parts and erase them by clicking and hitting delete or using your erase button, one of the two. Then you're going to pull up that column by 12 feet, create 2 guidelines to help with placement, and make another 3 by 3 foot square, as you can see on the far right. Then you're going to drag and move that up and move it and put it on top. And that's what those guide point lines were for, to help you with that process. All right. Once in place, pull it up by 1 foot. Now, to make a component, you go under Edit after you highlight things. Now, highlighting is tricky. You click and drag over top of what you need to highlight. Now, anything else that gets highlighted blue, you can hold the Shift button and click on it and deselect it, which is very helpful. Or you can select other things by clicking on it too. All right, that isn't blue. That are not blue, excuse me. Now, name it column and make sure nothing is checked. All right. All right, make a combination of entities and the components. Segregate the entities from the rest of the model. Things inside the component or group wrapper will not be affected by changes on the other parts of the model. Okay. All right, then you need to measure using your measuring tape and move these 7 feet away from each other to make this work. And then you can highlight all of them and shift them over if you want, or put them one by one to make the next row. Okay? And you can use the Alt Move. When you use Alt Move, basically what you do is you get your Alt button out, you click on it. Then you hold the Alt button, which on a Mac is Option, and you hold that option and you just drag it out with your mouse and it makes a replica of it. And then you drop it and click on it where you want it. Then you're going to make the ceiling, which by adding a 46 by 146 by 2 feet top, and build it on top of there, okay? On top of your columns. And that is your tower. Excuse me, not your tower, your Greek temple. Take screenshots of your temple and share them on Edmodo so we can check them all. Now, the last part of our SketchUp lesson that we're going to learn is exploring the 3D warehouse. The way we do this is under File, there's 3D Warehouse, and you can go into this and get models. You can share models, but it's basically a community in SketchUp that you can search things and show them off. All right. For example, you can search for car, and it shows all the different cars that people have created. Now, we've learned a lot about modeling. We're going to continue to learn more on other platforms of modeling. But how do we take that model to printer? Let's take a look at this. Now, files in SketchUp are saved as SKP. This is like in Microsoft Office Word. They're saved as DOCs. JPEGs are a type of image file. SKPs would need to be converted to STLs, all right? Now, the way we do this, under Window, we go to Extension Warehouse. Okay, and you're going to be downloading a software. Once you get this Extension Warehouse, you get a 3D printing. And it takes you to a list of extra softwares. And you're going to have to download SketchUp to STL. Now, once you do this, you install it. It's a conversion software. Now you got to go back to whatever you want, and you're going to group it. In order to export a symbol, you must group it by clicking all of them. You click all of them, and then under Edit, you make it a group. Now it's together, and it will print together. Okay. Now, a little bit about 3D printing. You can make amazing things, and it's only getting better. All right. Now, a quick 3 topics. What is 3D printing? How does it work? And examples of 3D printing and brief history. An open source of 3D. Actually, 5 things. Okay, it's an additive process, meaning that you're building on top of it layer by layer, kind of like a artist making something out of clay, like clay pottery, which is the opposite of subtractive process, which a CNC machine would be a subtractive process, or laser cutter, because it's cutting away, kind of like a artist who's chiseling a piece of granite or marble, like the statue of David. How does 3D printing work? In basic format, designed using 3D modeling software, which you've learned in SketchUp, and you'll learn more. Sent to a machine, designed and assembled layer by layer, pretty much on an XYZ type axis, like you would learn in math. Okay. And what makes them different is basically the way they print and what material they use. Some more examples. Skip that. Now, brief history. Chuck Hall created the first 3D printing machine, developed the STL file format that we still use today. Devices continue to get smaller and faster and cheaper. An example, a few examples. We have the RipRap, first self-replicating manufacturing machine, can print another full working version of itself. Designs are free and shared and used, including the design of the machine itself. It's an open source platform. MakerBot Replicator, founders are from the Maker community, provided completely 3D printers, helped create Thingiverse. They started in Brooklyn, New York. Now, when it comes to what you need to print, it cannot be larger than 5 by 5 by 5 centimeters. Okay? And that is the end of SketchUp. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Take care.